Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to walk you through Ed Marlo's AT.F.U.S move, which is the anytime face-up switch, and we're going to use it in conjunction with a collector's routine, just a standard collector's that's intermediate. It's pretty easy to do, but it's just a simple way to get in and out of a collector's routine. Anytime you have a four of a kind, you've got 3 people or more and you want to get several people involved in a selection process. This is a nice, simple way to do that. It's also going to use the Braue add-on move, okay? So I've got my four of a kind here. It's the 4 kings. I always like to place one color in the middle. So here I've got the blacks in between the red kings, and those are face down in the corner of the mat. You will now have 3 cards selected. I just have them touched. So spectators will touch 3 random cards, which I out-jog as they touch them. I then strip them out and flip them face up on top of the pack. As I show them, a red 10, and a black 3, I'm actually pushing over 5 cards because I'm going to get a break under the top 5 cards. Okay, so I'm going to get a pinky break under the top 5. All right, so now I can pick up and biddle grip those 5 cards, which they think are 3. I will say to someone to my left, I will say, would you please remember the 10 of hearts? And then I use the packet to turn the 10 face down. And then to somebody in front of me, I would say, and would you remember the 10 of diamonds? Which I then flip face down. I now take this packet of 3 cards and place it on top. And I say, and would you remember the 3 of clubs? Which is now a single card. I've just placed 2 cards, 2 indifferent cards got placed on top of the red 10s. So the red 10s are at positions 3 and 4 right now with 2 indifferent cards. And I say, and would you remember the 3 of clubs? Which then gets placed on top. So now I can say we've got a 3, a 10, and a 10. We're going to leave those off to the side. Okay, and really you've got the 3 here, and the 2 red 10s are now here. Okay, we will now go into Ed Marlo's AT.F.U.S move. So as I reach to pick up the kings, I'm going to push over the top selection and get a little finger break. Okay, also known as a 4th finger break, right, on the left hand. So this is done as I reach to pick up the kings to display them. Okay, so I always use the kings for this trick, because they're going to try to collect your cards, and that's what the K stands for. It stands for collectors. So I'm going to pick up a break under 5 cards, the 4 face-up kings and one of the selections. I will now lift with my thumb 1 card up off the deck, and that's going to go into a biddle grip, okay? And I've got a break here with my thumb. So I've got 1 card. This is a selection, and there's a selection here, and I'm holding a break with the right thumb. I'm now going to peel the first king off the deck, and it's going to go under the packet in the right hand. And as I square it up, I'm using my left thumb and the heel of my left hand to push it under the packet. As I say, we've got the king of hearts. Do the same thing with the king of spades. But as I square up the king of spades this time, I'm going to drop everything below the break on top of the deck. So I'm going to drop this face down selection and those 2 face up kings on top of the deck. Okay, as I show the 2nd king. So let's go back. I've got a break here. I'm in this position. So I say, look, I've got the king of hearts. It goes under. I've got the king of spades. I drop everything. And then I show the king of clubs. And I push the king of clubs under. I say, and the king of diamonds. And that's going to go there. So now I've got a face-up king, a face-down selection with the face-up king. Here I have a face-down selection with 2 face-up kings. Okay. So from the standpoint of the trick, you're almost home free. The only thing you have to do now is get this selected card, the 3 of clubs, in between these face-up kings. So the easiest way and most efficient way to do that, I get a break under the top 2 cards, which is in between those 2 face-up kings, and I use Marlo's tilt move to take their 3 and push it apparently into the middle of the deck. Right, so you might poke in the middle of the packet to poke out some cards where it looks like you're trying to push it into the middle of the deck, but it's really going into the break. This is the tilt move where it looks like from the front, it's going to appear as though the card is going down into the middle of the deck, but it's really going into the 3rd position in between the 2 face-up kings. So I'm going to push that in. I can now let go of the break. Okay, and so the 3 goes into the middle of the pack. I say we're going to place 1 card near the top, and I show the 3. And then I just pick these up, and I don't show them. I say we're going to put 1 near the middle, and I use my left thumb to pick up about half the cards and push it in. and I use my pinky to pull down 10 to 15 cards off the bottom, and I say we're going to put one near the bottom, and I push it in. Okay, so 3 selections lost in 3 different parts of the pack. All we have to do now is take this packet and put it on top, and the trick is over. Okay, because I've now got 2 selections in between these kings. So I have a selection, face-up king, selection, face-up king. Here I've got face-up king, selection, face-up king. Once these go on top, you can see the collection is now complete. Okay, so the little magical move I use at this point, I say, watch, if we take the kings, we just give them a wave, the kings instantly are going to collect 3 cards. Hopefully not just any 3 cards. And then you can show the 3 cards being the 3 selections. Your 3 of clubs, your 10 of hearts, and your 10 of diamonds. Okay, and there you've got just a standard collectors using really a beginner's move with the Braue add-on, and then kind of an intermediate move there with Marlo's anytime face-up switch, or the ATFUS move. Okay, now let me show you a beginner's version of collectors. If you don't want to use the ATFUS move, or maybe you're working on it, but you want to do collectors and you're not prepared to show the routine in front of a group of people yet, here's another simple way you can do it. You could have 3 cards selected. Let's say it's the 10, the 3, and the 10. You will now have the cards returned to the deck and controlled to the top. So the way I do it is I will kick cut, have the selection returned. It's the 10 of diamonds. I will hold a break like I'm going to do a standard double undercut, and I will cut half the cards from below the break, and I will stop there. I won't complete it. I will now pick up at the break and have the second card returned. Here it's the 3 of clubs. I come back over, I hold the break, and now I'm going to cut a third of the cards above the break to the table, half of what's left above the break to the table. Then I'm going to cut to the break to the table, and then take everything that's left, which is going to put 2 selections on top. Okay, so that move once again in full speed, I would say I would be in this position here. I would say, and have your card returned. So then that second selection goes in, and we just cut to the break. Okay, so it looked like that. And then the last one, I've got 2 on top. I'm going to kick cut and say, and go ahead and return your card to the pack. It's the other 10. And here I do that move. I showed it on my channel, I think maybe 3 years ago. There was a tutorial on how to control a card to the top. It's a move I learned from David Regal. But very quickly, I just take half the cards from below the break, and then I use my left thumb to contact the inner left corner of the upper packet as I spin that on top, and then I come back and drop those on top of the deck, and I dribble the cards. And that's going to get all 3 selections on top. Okay? You can check out my video, How to Control a Card to the Top, if you want a more in-depth explanation of that last control. So now you've got the kings with 3 selections that you've secretly controlled to the top. So what you'll do from here is you're going to get a break under the top card as you reach for the king of diamonds. The king goes on top, and now we're going to do a collector's using just a double undercut. So I'm going to double undercut these top 2 cards to the bottom of the deck. Okay, so I've just moved them to the bottom. So if you're not sure what the double undercut is, most people watching my channel would be. As I reach for the king, I'll get a little finger break here under the top card. As I say, I'm going to take the king of diamonds. So I've got the little finger break, and I'm going to cut it into the pack. So I'm going to cut half the cards below the break, place those on top, and then I'm going to cut to the break, which is going to move those 2 cards to the bottom of the deck. So all you've done is you've taken 2 from the top, and you've put them on the bottom. Okay? I'm now going to do the same thing, get a little finger break under the top card as I take the king of clubs, saying we'll cut the king of clubs into the deck. And again, I double undercut those to the bottom. One more time, take the king of hearts. We're going to lose it into the pack. And I cut those 2 to the bottom. And the last one, I'm going to let you do it. We'll take the king of spades, have your spectator cut about half the cards, and then complete the cut. If you wait just a second, it's done. Now you can spread and show that your 4 kings have now trapped 3 selections in between them. Right? But not just any 3 cards. It would be your 3 of clubs, your 10 of diamonds, and your 10 of hearts, all trapped between my kings. And now you've done a collector's using nothing more than just a double undercut, which would give you what I would consider a beginner's version of the collector's routine. So there you go, guys. Hope that helps some of you out. Till next time, take care.